Welcome to Conversations. I'm Muqtadar Khan, your host, and today I want to talk to you about the downward spiraling relationship between India and Bangladesh. Every time there is something that undermines that relationship, one wonders whether this is the lowest it will go, and then something else happens, and then things seem to be getting worse day by day. So today I'm going to focus on that and say why India-Bangladesh relations are absolutely critical for both countries, for that region too, for South Asia. But before that, let me wish you all a very happy and prosperous new year. I'm coming to you from Hyderabad. I am originally from Hyderabad, India. So I'm back in my old hometown. I'm quite happy to be here. Happy New Year to all of you from Hyderabad. May it bring peace and prosperity to everybody. So let me explain to you why Bangladesh is absolutely critical. India essentially has 2.5 challenges, as they call it, the 2.5 front doctrine. So the Indian defense establishment feels that India's national security is threatened by Pakistan on the northwest and China on the northeast. These are two military fronts on which India potentially faces a threat. It was becoming very apparent during Operation Sindoor that India was not only facing Pakistan, but was facing a Pakistan that was so well supported by China and, of course, Turkey and Azerbaijan. And then there is the half front, which is domestic insurgency fueled and nurtured by foreign forces, especially in Kashmir and maybe even in the northeast. So these are the 2.5 threats that India perceives to its national security. But now, with the destabilization of Bangladesh, the growing tension between India and Bangladesh, the rising hatred that is being expressed to each other, the Bangladeshi crowds, the anti-India protests, the lynching of minorities in India, the anti-Bangladesh protests, the hateful rhetoric coming from the leaders in India, the BJP leaders suggesting that India should go into Bangladesh and commit a genocidal war like Israel has done in Gaza. So these kind of hateful comments are not helping improve the relationship. And on top of that, Bangladesh has chosen to complicate India-Bangladesh relations since the ouster of Sheikh Hasina by making it a geopolitical issue also and improving very rapidly its relations with Pakistan and getting deeper and deeper into China's orbit. And so in many ways, Bangladesh is now formed a kind of a triad with Pakistan and China, which should give India headaches for a long time to come. And India wants to make sure that that does not happen. That should be India's primary goal, is that India-Bangladesh relations don't sour to that extent that Bangladesh becomes a threat to Indian national security. The way it can be fixed requires a fundamental rethink of Bangladesh on the Indian side. This constant demonization of Bangladeshis as illegal migrants coming from a poor country to India, this rich and prosperous country for a better life. All of this rubbish that the Bharatiya Janata Party uses to essentially radicalize and consolidate its Hindu vote bank is not helping its foreign policy. Let me tell you this, Bangladesh is 3 times richer than Bihar. Straight up, Bihar's per capita income is around $800 per year. It is one of the poorest parts of the world. It is poorer than sub-Saharan Africa, the poorest region in the world. Bangladesh per capita is very close to that of India. In fact, there was a moment in 2022 when Bangladesh had surpassed India in per capita income. So Bangladesh is 3 times richer than Bihar, and this ridiculous argument that Bangladeshis are migrating to Bihar for a better life. Who migrates to Bihar for a better life? Biharis themselves, 1 crore of them have migrated out of Bihar in search of a better life. So this kind of demonization of Bangladeshis as something low has been terrible. It generates hatred and anger. And now Bangladesh, which has become more confident and more angry, seeking a better life, etc., is reciprocating their same anger and distaste and undermining India-Bangladesh relations. So I think India does not want to have a 3.5 front crisis towards its national security. And it is quite possible that Bangladesh might get some gains, especially economic and developmental gains, by becoming more closer to China than it was when Sheikh Hasina was the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. She tried to balance Bangladesh relations with India as well as China. And if Bangladesh abandons India and completely becomes an ally and a partner of China and gets even closer to Pakistan, then India is going to face a lot of domestic challenges. And if India thinks that it can balance all of this by becoming close to the Taliban, that's going to be the worst possible solution, because the Taliban is the worst regime on earth, undoubtedly. And India, if India wants to continue to gain and enjoy its international respect for its democracy, for its pluralism, for its religious tolerance, it cannot be best friends with radical Taliban, or basically a terrorist group which has become formed the government. So South Asia, this is a huge challenge. Bangladesh and India have a lot of economic synergies. They can grow together. If they work together towards development, they both will benefit significantly. And if they work against each other, both will suffer and neither will benefit. This is straight up simple comparative economics arguments. They work together, you cooperate, you will do well. If you work against each other, you will undermine each other clearly. And Bangladesh will also stand to lose. So I think what India needs to do right now is give Bangladesh the space that it needs to reconstitute. Bangladesh is going through profound changes. It is reinventing itself. Okay. They felt that under Sheikh Hasina it had become very authoritarian. There was too much nepotism, too much corruption, and they're trying to fix all of that. They do not need another foreign country interfering in their internal affairs, trying to manipulate the politics of that country in order to have foreign influence in that country. And I think that is what India has definitely been doing. They want to have a Sheikh Hasina-like situation back in Bangladesh. India has to learn, just as India wants strategic autonomy from the US and China and other major powers, I'm sure Bangladesh too wants strategic autonomy from India. And I'm sure Bangladeshis do not want to compromise their autonomy to China too. So they're not going to rush headlong and become a client state of China entirely, because that would also eliminate their options and their autonomy. So India has to trust them to find their way. I think India should help Bangladesh become a more stable, fix its reforms, the political changes they want to bring, fight corruption, and then put Bangladesh back on. Bangladesh was doing phenomenally well. It was rising very rapidly. Economically, it has done a lot of things, social reform. Women are better educated there than, say, Pakistan. Bangladesh's GDP is nearly $100 billion more than Pakistan. Its per capita is $1,000 more than Pakistan. So it has been doing very well since 1971 relative to, say, how Pakistan has been doing. So it is on par with India on many ways, economically well. So we should allow Bangladesh to continue to stabilize. A strong Bangladesh, having positive relations with all the countries in the region, can be an important player. One of the reasons why South Asia lags behind is because of the failure of SAARC to be a driving force for regional development. And it has not played any significant role in reducing the tensions and geopolitical conflicts that exist in South Asia at the moment. And you know what? A confident Bangladesh can actually do for South Asia what India and Pakistan have failed to do, provide leadership. I mean, you may sound oh, how can that be? Well, because if Bangladesh can maintain good relations with China, with India, and with Pakistan, then it can become a forum where South Asia can plan a shared future and plan a shared, shall we say, agenda for regional stability and development. But for that, Bangladesh has to get through this particular period of turmoil. It is important that the Bangladeshi leaders ensure that hate is clamped down. They should not allow hatred to become a political currency in their country. Their own citizens will suffer. If it wants to become a much stronger democracy. That is the purpose of ousting the Sheikh Hasina's government. It was doing reasonably well economically, at least overall speaking. Yes, a lot of people suffered, but some benefited, and the country did benefit under her. So if Bangladesh wishes to continue to go back to its 6-7% growth rate that it had prior to this, then it needs to have both reforms and stability. And I think that international powers like Pakistan, like India and China should give Bangladesh the space to find its own future. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I think that in 2026, India needs to focus primarily on its relations in South Asia. India does not have good relations right now with Pakistan, Bangladesh, not even with Nepal. So I think that is the priority that India should attach to its foreign policy. Of course, it will continue to try to fix its relations with the United States and restore the importance of Quad, and also try to bring amity back to Indo-China relations, and continue to strengthen its partnership with other powers like Australia and Japan. But I think India should prioritize Bangladesh in 2026, try not to even appear as if it is taking sides and destabilizing the country. There will be politicians in Bangladesh who might use allegations such as that India is interfering in order to gain political significance at home. India should just stay out of this domestic politics of Bangladesh and try to build relations with what they see is going to come out. And let me tell you, the ouster of Sheikh Hasina in August of 2024 was basically a surprise to India. It shows that India's intelligence, it was a huge intelligence failure as far as India is concerned. And so India should be a bit more modest about what it thinks it knows about Bangladesh. And therefore back off from having a more aggressive policy. That is my recommendation. But I know that for a prime minister in a party that likes to act very macho in the region, and people love to talk about how Dr. Jaishankar has said this to Europe, has said this to America. They think that is a great achievement, making comments which are sarcastic or even critical. No, that's not diplomacy. Diplomacy is having good relations and mutually beneficial relations with countries, and having as few countries which are a threat to your national security as possible. That is successful foreign policy. And right now in South Asia, Indian foreign policy has not achieved that. It does not have good relations with a majority of the countries in the region, and all the three biggest countries now in South Asia are posing national security headaches to India. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you very much for watching Conversations. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, press the bell icon, and share this video with your socio-political network. Until next time, I'm your host, Muqtada Khan. Take care.